Hello, I'm DJ Ninja, and this is my VOD review of my Season 1 game, or my Week 1 game, sorry, of Lads Season 3, Pokemon Draft League. And I want to give first, before I start the video, I want to talk about my team a little bit. You can skip this chapter if you're not interested, you just want to see the battle. But let's talk about my opponent. My opponent this week was Jock, and Jock's team is one that I was actually a little bit scared of. So let's walk through these mons. For the starters, the first reason I'm afraid, they have a pretty reliable core of Dragapult, Togekiss, and Excadrill. It's a good Steel Fairy Dragon core, and nothing to be afraid of. Then you have Glimmora and Vikavolt, which both provide good hazard removals. Arboliva can be, and Avila can just be a little bit annoying to deal with at times. Grumpig and Poliwrath exist, but actually one of the Pokemon I'm most scared of on this team is Golduck, and the reason for that was Golduck's Cloud 9 ability. Now, I'm assuming most people here know, but basically what Cloud 9 does is that while Golduck is on the field, it negates the weather. And that's absolutely an issue for me with my Sun team. It means that I can a bit more safely switch in on mons like Great Tusk, Torkoal, and Venusaur. But I still think all these mons are good, and that's why I brought them anyway. So let's bring it on the team I brought. To start off, we have our quad of Sunmon with Torkoal to set our Sun, Wake, Venusaur, and Great Tusk to abuse it. Torkoal was going a more utility set with both Rocks and Rapid Spin, as well as we also had Rapid Spin on Great Tusk because I wanted Great Tusk to have the utility to remove and boost speed anyway. Will-O-Wisp on Torkoal allows for it to potentially set up or negate on those physical attackers such as Dragapult, Poliwrath in Sun, where it can't really be hit hard, and Excadrill. And Body Press is reliable damage. I chose for a bit more of a mixed EV spread, that way I could try and take hits from both spectrums, such as mons like Togekiss. Wake is a pretty standard attack set for Sun, with its EV set made designed so that it would have just one stat less of Spatak than speed, so that way you get the speed boost in Sun, which is stronger than the Spatak boost, which is why we run choice specs. Venusaur has pretty standard set for a bulky mon with Terra Water in order to help it out. I chose Terra Water because the mix of Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, Terra Blast, and Water Terra Blast hits everything on Jock's team for neutral damage except for Dragapult. Neutral or super effective, I should say. Except for Dragapult, which definitely does scare. And then Growth is just a really good move. For Great Tusk, I chose to go with a bulky offensive mon with Assault Vest. For movesets, I thought Earthquake and Knockoff. Earthquake was good for stab. Knockoff and Rapid Spin provide good utility, and then Ice Spinner was really good. Had really good matchups into Arboliva, Togekiss, and Dragapult. All three mons that might want to switch in on Melvin. And for the last two mons, I was unsure at first of what I wanted to bring. Originally, I was thinking of bringing Electric as a sort of pseudo counter to Excadrill. However, then I realized, looking at Jock's team, there was zero way that they don't bring Mold Breaker on Excadrill, just looking at its abilities. With no Sand Setter, it can't really abuse this other two. So instead, it was with Durant. Durant gives me another reliable physical attacker, which is why I wanted it in the first place. Again, I felt like this was a good moveset with Hone Claws and Double Stab, and then Stone Edge. Heavy Duty Boots means that in case Vikavolt sets up webs, which I was actually a little bit scared of, I won't lie, hence why we did have the double Rapid Spin, because webs do absolutely shut down my mons. So I didn't want Durant to also be shut down. For our last mon, I chose Liepard. I actually chose for a Focus Sash Unburdened set instead of Prankster, because I just thought that the speed would be a little bit more valuable with the moveset that I chose for Liepard. Liepard was mainly meant to be a bit more of a utility mon, as you can tell by its moves. And I will say, I think it did what it wanted to do pretty decently well. The reason why I chose Unburdened over Prankster is because with only T-Wave being the only status move, I didn't think that it was working. Now, if I had something like Taunt or Trick or Toxic or any other status moves, instead of just T-Wave, it absolutely would have gone Prankster, but because of those only bringing the one, and the only thing that it would really get outsped by is Pult, because I do think speed's a little bit of a weakness on Jock's team, I thought Unburdened was fine here. In fact, it could actually even be a little bit more reliable than Focus Sash. Than Prankster. So, this was the team, and let's get into the battle. All right, so here are the teams. As I said, this is Jacques' team that Jacques ended up bringing. They brought a few mons I was expecting. I was definitely expecting to see Dragapult, Glamora, Togekiss, Excadrill, and Golduck. I was very surprised actually to see Arboliva. I was really expecting to see Vikavolt. I think Vikavolt could have been really good into my team, and I was prepping a lot for that. So I think it's interesting to see it. Let's look at Terramon. So obviously, Terra Captain that Jacques brought is Arboliva, which is Terra Flying. I think really good. Actually, I mean, it depends on the set. I believe this was a Harvest set, not a Seed Sower set, so it's not going to, be abusing grassy terrain, so no issue there for it with not getting the terrain boost then because it's in the air. But overall, this is pretty standard for what I was going to say. So I start Liepard because I have a feeling Glamora is going out first, and I don't really want Torkoal into that. This doesn't feel good, and I'm right. So I'm like, okay, let's get some status off, and it immediately goes offensively. That really surprised me. So I'm like, okay, let's switch in. It's going to go for offensive, and it then goes for the Stealth Rock on the second one. I'm like, okay, we got a free kill. Let's just clear those, get our speed up. I'm worried it might be Sash. So let's break that Sash. And then it goes for Energy Ball, which did not do a lot, thankfully, for that AV. And so we locked that first kill down, which I'm really happy we got. As instantly out comes Dragapult. I'm like, okay, this thing could hurt really... I want to kill Grusk alive. Let's go into our resistance, the resistance we have to Dragon, which is Durant. And Durant takes way more damage than I was expecting to, I won't lie. I'm like, okay... So we know it's probably Specs, I'm guessing at this point, for that damage. And then it goes for another one, so I'm like, okay, this is a Pokemon. It's definitely Choice. I don't know what Choice item yet. And then that comes up Elvin. I'm predicting the swap, just because of how low their attack is, and then I decide to go for the Ice Spinner on Switch, because I know that'll do a lot of damage to Togekiss. Jacques goes for the Roost, so I see, okay, they're faster than me. That is good to know. But I'm actually playing on a gamble here. I'm predicting that I will live in Air Slash if they go for the kill, thanks to being Assault Vest. They go for the Roost, so that's really good for me because that means I can get the... That means that I can get the Rapid Spin off. We clear the Toxic Spikes. That won't be a problem for future in the game with no more way to set them up. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's just go. We go for the Ice Spinner because it would have been a kill on Togekiss. We switch into Excadrill. I'm not worried because at first, I'm like, okay, if I'm max speed, if I with my stats, I still outspeed Excadrill, but then Excadrill goes first. So that actually tells me an important thing. Now I know that Excadrill is Choice Scarf, and that means Great Tusk doesn't die for nothing, because it has given me that valuable information. Served its job well, cleared the hazards, massively chunked out Togekiss. Overall, very proud of Great Tusk. Durant is thank you for sacrifice, give us information. I go to Torkoal here, and this is actually a misplay from me in my eyes. I'm like, okay, they probably switch out. They nearly kill Torkoal, and that could have been really bad. And I go for Rocks. I could have killed with Body Press. This was a kill. And I'm like, Torkoal we might need for later, so I sacrifice Liepard. Okay, 5v3, but I'm not worried. I still feel like I have the momentum, and I'm proven right. I'm like, okay, let's Terra and Growth, and I get the play. And thankfully we get the kill then with Sludge Bomb. Golduck comes out, as expected. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take some damage here. This outspeed really surprised me. I'm like, okay. I was really surprised that I outsped Golduck. I had the growth boost as well, so I was like, okay, yeah, there's no way Giga Drain doesn't kill. Because I'm not weak to Psychic anymore, I'm also not afraid of, Nasty Plot Psyshock, for example. And so I'm like, okay, let's just go for the Gale. So now, 3 Pokemon left. We're 3-3 now, and I'm really confident in my team, because I know that in Sun, Wake will outspeed Excadrill, so if we can get rid of Dragapult, we win. Dragapult is the last thing really standing in our way, and I feel like if this is Specs, I feel like Venusaur is the mon that can take it. On that note, it absolutely does. It tanks at Draco like a champ, and this tells me that it's actually Scarf, because it outsped still, and Venusaur is able to take out Dragapult because it lives another Draco. Absolute fucking champ. Now comes Arbor Leaf. I'm expecting the Terra flying here, so I'm just like, okay, let's just go for as much damage as we can, which is going to be a Sludge Bomb. It's the strongest move, and it gets the Harvest proc, and I'm like, okay, that could be bad, but except Sun ends, so we can't get that berry back, which means now Wake just comes in, and I'm like checking. I'm like, I don't want to throw it away, so I was thinking like, oh, switch to Torkoal and then let it die, and then get the Sun up, and we have speed. But a crit Earthquake doesn't kill, so I just go for the Hydro Stream and end. And I think Jacques knew that as well. They're trying to go for like Rock Slide flinches at the end. They knew it was over. Overall, really happy with that how I played. I think I definitely misplayed with the when Torkoal was in. I think I should have just gone for the body press to kill Excadrill, but it didn't. But I didn't, and I really risked it because like if I don't have Sun, like sure I don't think it would have really affected much during the battle, but like if I don't have Sun I think if I lose Sun a bit earlier or like don't have that backup like assurance, it could be really bad for me. Overall, though, really happy with how the team played out, especially my Sunnyside boys. I think the Sun Core did very well for their first showing. I think Jacques absolutely prepped very well. They had really good plans. Bringing Golduck was smart, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they have brought like a bulky Golduck set, which like it's like I don't think Golduck survives a Giga Drain no matter what. But no, good fight. The Scarf Excadrill really caught me off guard. And I'll see you guys next week when I review Maggie's team. Thank you.